Okay. Good morning, everybody. Sorry for all the technology issues. There's always some issues sometimes with these computers and corporate America and the safeguards that we put in place. And there's a good reason for it, but things update and it's sometimes tough to find out about these until the last minute. But hey, my name's Jesse Brewer and I work with Messer Financial Group with Mike and that whole group there. Good operation to be associated with. Today, we're talking about SureBridge and cross-selling supplemental plans in the senior market. You know, ACA and AEP and all that just ended. Now, here we are at the end of February almost. So this year's going by pretty quick. But we want to talk a little bit about selling, cross-selling in the senior market. So let's take a look at it. As an agent, your clients have choice, convenience, and counsel when you work with SureBridge. Because right now, it's a trusted brand. SureBridge, which is Chesapeake Life Insurance Company, is owned by United Healthcare. So we are one of the United Healthcare companies that they have purchased, but we still have our brand right now, but that's going to start changing as of March 23rd when we have a new product. You'll start to see co-branding of United Healthcare Chesapeake Life Insurance Company. Convenience, we do everything electronic app. It's, quick underwriting. A lot of our products have no health questions. Everything is simplified and it's, it's issued very quickly. And then Counsel, as an agent, I really like to work with agents who are what I refer to as trusted advisors. I'm starting to see this health insurance. It's very complicated for a lot of people. There's a lot of choices. We go through our enrollment every year. And you know what? I had to go through all the enrollment of, Medicare and Social Security and all those things. There's a lot of decisions to make. So as an agent, if you're up on all this, you want to be that trusted advisor, that counselor to that insured because they do have a lot of questions. So we want to prepare you with the tools to make it better so you have an opportunity here to cross-sell. So speaking of convenience, like I said, our cases are issued, 24/7. It's all issued by a computer. It's over 90%. I would say with a lot of my clients, we're looking at that over 90% to be probably right around 97% with a lot of my marketers because we have knockout questions that do that. Product portfolio, we have both under age 65 and over 65, but today's focus is on the over 65 market. And we also have a new product that's coming to that market here shortly. And in our technology, everything is done electronically. So when we take a look at the senior product portfolio, we're going to talk about HospitalWise is going to be our main focus. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Prime DVH. Our HospitalWise is the hospital indemnity plan, and it goes up to issue age 90. Plus, we have a guarantee issue amount available, too, for that, regardless of age. So that's a great little product to have because we know when people have purchased Medicare Advantage plans and things, they've got some exposure. Prime DVH is dental, vision, hearing plan, standalone, and there is no networks that you got to go to. You can go to any dentist that you want. So that gives you freedom of choice there. Senior vision, standalone dental. We have critical illness and then fixed indemnity direct. We're not selling a lot of fixed indemnity direct because HospitalWise has taken its place. Now, under 65, because I know if you're working at over 65 market, you're going to get referrals because a lot of those people have grandkids and kids. And you know what? If you do a good job for them, they want to make sure their kids are insured properly and you will get referrals. So we have really the same product portfolio for the under 65 as we do on the over, except we've added in the accident plans and disability plans. Now, come March 23rd, our accident plans are going to be going away, and we're going to be replacing it with a new accident plan called HospitalWise. And that's going to be for under 65 and over 65. you're going to be able to write accident-wise on clients, I believe, up to the issue age of 75. But once they buy it, as long as they keep paying the premium, they can keep that in force forever. So, you know, seniors, they have falls and things like that. So start thinking about that going forward. So let's talk a little bit about HospitalWise, our hospital indemnity plan. Wise protection against the unexpected hospital confinements and more. You know, you just never know when it's going to happen. So there's a big need for this. I mean, you read all the different surveys and everything out there about financial problems and inflation and all the financial exposure that people can't afford. So in 2022, approximately 28 million participants are enrolled in Medicare Advantage plans. And I know that Messer does a great job in working with Medicare Advantage plans because of the companies that they represent with United Healthcare. They do a great job. 45% of Medicare beneficiaries, 16.3 million enrolled in the ACA. Now, for Medicare Advantage enrollees, the average out-of-pocket limit is now at $8,300. Maximum out-of-pocket is $9,100. You know, you can go back about 5-6 years ago, and that out-of-pocket expense was probably about half of that. So that continues to go up. Now, the other thing that you want to think about is that 69% of the Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. That is scary. And right now, if you look at the surveys that's going on, credit cards are rising real fast because of this inflation that we have going. Credit card balances are increasing. And also, late payments or delinquency on car loans has started to go up. So you know that people are feeling pinched. Well, what we want to do is we want to help those people if they have an accident or get hospitalized. We want to reduce that financial exposure, give them a little peace of mind. So when we take a look at HospitalWise, you have issue ages 0 to 90. So this is going to encompass your senior market. Guaranteed renewable for life. We've not had any increase on this product, and it doesn't go up by age. So as your senior gets older each year, you're not seeing a premium increase because of age. Once they get their premium, that's where they're at. You got premium factors, issue age, unisex, and unismoke. Well, since we're doing underwriting through the computer and asking the questions, we have a blended rate for tobacco and non-tobacco. Because we know if we had tobacco rates and non-tobacco rates, 99.9% of people would be non-tobacco. It just happens that way. So that's why there's a unismoke rate, a blended rate. And then you have your rate structure, whether it be individual or individual spouse to seniors. So you got that combination there. You got a pre-X of 6 months, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then you have a one-time application fee of $20. So you can have husband and wife on the same app and pay one-time application fee of $20. I think that comes to be about $1.66 a month. It's just something that we have to have at the very beginning that helps pay for the underwriting and all the IT work that it takes. But it's a one-time fee. It's not like I know on my term plan, I used to have a policy fee on my term plan. That was $75 a year, and that was for 20 years. So over 20 years, I paid $1,500 in policy fees, whereas on this one, I'm paying a one-time fee of $20. Now, you could add more products, and you still have a one-time fee of $20. Underwriting, strictly, you got the knockout questions. So you're going to know at the end of that application process what you're going to be getting, whether it's going to be issued or not, because everything's done electronic. And if you do the guarantee issue, you have no health questions to ask. We're not doing any MIBs or script checks or anything like that. It's strictly underwriting off the app. Now, hospital confinement, you've got the daily benefit. And you can see the choices there, 3, 6, 10, and so forth. Right now, what we see on the average is about $350 to $400 a day for 6 days. Seems to be the average benefit that agents are selling their clients. Observation benefit, This is built in. You know what? If you go to that emergency and they don't check you in, but you're there between 12 and 24 hours, we'll pay the daily benefit to you. Because what happens is you get home and you didn't stay in the hospital, and then a couple of weeks later you get a bill and you're like, well, I was never admitted, but you were there. So we'll go ahead and pay that. Mental and nervous, $250 for 7 days. I'll tell you what, I've known a couple different families and clients that have used this benefit, and it was because they had children. And you know what, with not going to school and COVID and all that, there were just some times that they needed to have somebody, assist them with the mental and nervous. And you know what, they were put in for a few days in counseling, and that was a nice benefit to have. Now, the lump sum hospital confinement rider is probably my favorite rider. So when I look at that, $350 to $400 a day for 6 days, you're talking about $2,400 that you're going to get, but you're going to have to be in the hospital 6 days. Well, what happens if you do a lump sum instead of a daily benefit, so that if you're in the hospital 1 day, then we'll go ahead and pay that amount of money. That's, so if you have a $3,000 lump sum hospital confinement, you're hospitalized for 1 day, then we'll pay the $3,000. So you kind of have a choice here. You got to look at the rate, what's going to work best. Outpatient surgery, we're seeing on the average about $500 that people are purchasing there. And then skilled nursing, most people are purchasing the 21 to 100 days for about $200 a day. Because the traditional Medicare's got skilled nursing for the first 20. A lot of your Medicare Advantage plans also have the first 20 days. So most everybody's going to 21 to 100. Emergency care. Now, this is the emergency room at the hospital. This is not the urgent care center that's in the strip mall down the street that you go to. This is the emergency room of the hospital. Now, you don't have to be hospitalized, but payment will be anywhere from $100 to $500 4 times per year. And then the ambulance, you have to be hospitalized on that, and that's anywhere from $100 to $500. And I know I live here in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's awfully cold today. I think we're going to have a high of 9 degrees. But I'm just thinking about people that I know that have taken the ambulance. When the fire truck shows up at the house and the ambulance, it takes them to the hospital. A couple weeks later, they get a bill from the city of Omaha, and that they have an ambulance fee to pay for. And I think that's right now running right around $700. So that's, a fee that a lot of people aren't expecting, because they think with their property taxes and everything that, geez, we should have that service paid for, but part of that cost gets passed on. Outpatient major diagnostics, this is all your CAT scans and things like that. It'll pay for that 2 times per year. And then what's nice about our software, we have what we call the Senior Plan Builder. And if you look up there in the upper right-hand corner, after you've entered in the name and the address and the zip code for the individual client that you're selling, you have the Hospital Senior Plan Builder. It's right there, and you click on that. And what that does is that will bring up all the products here, but it will bring up every Medicare Advantage plan that's written in that current plan year or that zip code. So you pick up the plan carrier, whether it be United, Aetna, Cigna, whoever you're writing, and then the plan name. And on the left-hand side, it's going to show you the gaps, financial exposure that client's going to have, whether it be $325 copay first 5 days. And on the right-hand side, what our software will do, we'll come up with a recommendation. You're not overselling. You're educating the consumer on what is best for them. Now, if they want to buy more benefits, they're welcome to that. But this is enough to cover that exposure. So it really helps from a compliance standpoint, because they've purchased what they needed to reduce that loss. Now, you go right into the software, and you can quote it, and then you just hit requote, you get the premium, and you add it to the proposal. So that is a nice working the senior market, because I know when we look at brochures and we try to compare one company to another, the paper copy is sometimes pretty tough. With the electronic version, we can do that all at one time. Now, what's nice about SureBridge, you can either sell face-to-face, you can do it over the phone, or you can do it through video or Zoom. So you got that choice. Now, as of September 16th, 2022, which was just about 5 months ago, we issued guarantee issue for HospitalWise. Now, it is guarantee issue in all states but just Illinois, New Mexico, and the states that we do business in. Now, this guaranteed issue benefit, we have certain thresholds or levels of benefit that we will have. There's no health questions if you do the guarantee issue amount, but anytime you go outside of that guarantee issue amount, then there'll be health questions. There's no change in premiums. We didn't up the premium by 10% or 20% to subsidize the guarantee issue. It's still the same premiums, and it's issued all year round. There's just not a certain window. It's all ages, all year round. Whereas some of my competition will have a guarantee issue, but it's between a certain age of maybe 64 to 67. You have a window there. We have it all year, all the time. Now, where you want to market this is all of your Medicare Advantage clients, because we know they have gaps in coverage. Now, if we move on, you take a look at the column that is highlighted, you will see the guarantee issue thresholds. So you've got the 3 to 6 day, you got 50 to 350 benefit amount. And like I said, right now on the average, we're selling about 6 days, $350, $400 a day benefit, what most people are buying. They're trying to keep it affordable. We look at the average premium on HospitalWise products to be right around $60 a month. So you're talking about $2 a day. The ambulance, anywhere from 100 to 200, emergency, 100, outpatient, 100, 200, outpatient surgical rider, 250, skilled nursing, 100, 200 for the 21 to 100. Wellness benefit, it's available at all levels. I probably wouldn't recommend that. And then the lump sum hospital riders, 250. So you can do a combination. As long as you're within that threshold, you'll have guarantee issue and no health questions on the application. So that makes it a little quicker process on the underwriting. Now, you can do guarantee issue is available in all the states that are dark blue. Simplified issue only available in Illinois, Virginia, and DC. The gray states, we're not doing business there. So we're not in New Jersey or New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, or Rhode Island, and New Mexico. So as an agent, you need to be appointed in the state. So if you're working from your desk and you're selling people all over the U.S., you need to have the proper non-resident license for that state, and you need to have it set up prior to doing any enrollment. We don't do any just-in-time enrollment or appointments. Everything you have to be appointed prior to. And Messer can help you with that, or you sign into our portal when you're an agent and you can request those states. Now, here's an example of trying to position this product in the Medicare Advantage market. We got Jane here, who is, 65, very happy with the Medicare Advantage plan. Agent, represented and told her about, counseled her about. She's very happy with that, but she sees that she's got some financial exposure there. So Jane, very healthy, everything's going fine, and now we can do a HospitalWise product to cover all those gaps. So instead of $250 copay, we have a $300 payment. For 6 days, she had it for 5. So if you look down that list, everything that we provide or recommend will cover that financial exposure. And what happens is we do no coordination of bills with the hospital. All the payment and benefits are paid directly to the insured. So they like that. That cash comes to them, and they decide on how to pay it out, where they want to. So this premium for Jane, being 65, is $52.38 a month. So you're talking about roughly $1.75 a day, less than a gallon of gas or less than a cup of coffee. So that's not bad. $1.75 a day it's going to be. Real close. Now, with the pre-X, we said it's guarantee issue. You got a pre-X of 6 months. So once the policy's been in force 6 months, the pre-existing conditions limitations no longer applicable. Now, just because it's guarantee issue, we have the 6-month pre-X. If we didn't have guarantee issue, we still had the 6-month pre-X. So there's no change there. Should a claim be subject to pre-existing conditions? And you can see that little graph down there, or table, or whatever you want to call it. Policy was issued 1/1/23. We're going to look back 6 months prior, and then 6 months following, when the claims are filed, we'll do that investigation. Claims filed with an incurred date more than 6 months from the effective date will not be subject to a pre-X. Now, with SureBridge, you can pick whatever effective date you want as long as it's within the 1st to the 28th of the month. I recommend always, if you want coverage today, you can ask for the effective date today. But if not, for billing purposes and things, you want to make all your policies the 1st, you can go ahead and do that. It's just that your waiting period won't start until the effective date. So that's how the pre-X works. Now, sales tips that I think that you want to think about, utilize the HospitalWise Senior Plan Builder. That way, you're not dealing with paper brochures and everything. The Plan Builder is going to pull up current information on the Medicare Advantage plans that's within that zip code, and it's going to show you what the exposure is, and then it's going to come up with a recommendation. Now, you can use our recommendation, or you can customize it. In other words, if they want more of a daily benefit instead of $350, they want $500, they can go ahead and do that, but now you're going to have the health questions to ask. So, decide on how you want to do it. If you want the simple underwriting process, no health questions, stay within those thresholds of the product. Now, keep premiums within the budget. You will see that, whether it be 2% or 3% of their annual income, because right now in a lot of the Medicare Advantage plans, the individuals are paying minimal premiums. And all of a sudden you're starting to ask for a premium for this product, but you want to reduce that loss. So keep premiums within a budget. Like I said, most of the time I see with HospitalWise being into that $50, $60 range. So you're talking about, $1.50 to $2 a day. Now, if HospitalWise is something that they're not concerned about, you always want to be able to pivot. With SureBridge, you've got many products within the portfolio, and come March 23rd, we're going to have a new AccidentWise plan. So Accident Companion's going away, but we're going to have AccidentWise, and it's going to be for seniors. There's not many carriers out there that have an accident plan for seniors. So you're going to be able to underwrite the seniors on this guarantee issue up through age 75. So that is a new plan that's coming. Watch for that. Details that will be released here shortly. Now, the next product, the number 2 selling product we have is Prime DVH, dental insurance. And you know what? The market for DVH is huge. I see when agents are prospecting, dental insurance seems to be one of the products that drives a lot of activity, a lot of interest. I mean, I get mailings from ARP and other carriers about dental insurance. from Blue Cross Blue Shield, all these carriers. And I start to look at premiums and things. It'll vary from company to company, but they're pretty much in line. For every dollar that you spend, you get back usually about $2.5 to $3 in benefits. So, but really, I look at this. I'm not going to go bankrupt if over a crown or anything like that. Yes, I'll complain it's expensive, but you know what? Dental insurance really creates a behavior change. I go every 6 months because I get an email from my dentist that says, Jess, you're due for a checkup. And I have my dental insurance and I go. If you don't have dental insurance, I don't think many people go every 6 months for a checkup. I think that I'm okay. I feel good today. I don't want to spend the $180 to $250 for a checkup and a cleaning, and they don't go. Well, they keep putting it off, and then finally they end up going because something's wrong. Well, it's good to go to the dentist every 6 months. Same with an eye exam. They can uncover a lot of your health issues. So roughly 1 in 4 Americans don't have dental coverage. So there's a big opportunity out there. And think about your client base. You can always present dental insurance to them, but I would focus on that HospitalWise product first. And then, oh, by the way, what about dental coverage? Now, here's, did you know all these stats? And I'll send this PowerPoint out to Mike, and he can get it out to the individuals who have participated in today's webinar once I can figure out how to send out this large PowerPoint. Dental, hearing, and vision, you can see that, what it uncovers.
You would send that to me, and I'll put my email in the chat so that you have it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And then you can take a look at what's nice about this product is that preventive's covered 100% from day one, no deductible. Vision and hearing is covered from day one. And there's no waiting periods for basic. There's a 9-month waiting period for major. Most of my competition have a 12-month waiting period there. We have a 9. Premiums, I think, are competitive within the marketplace. And commissions, I know, are very competitive. What I like about this page right here is the insured can visit any provider. Now, you can go use Carrington and get better pricing, and that's great because it uses less of your benefit, but you can go to any dentist you want. Now, in my hometown, which is about 500 miles away from Omaha, Nebraska, where I grew up, small town, 1,100 people, 1 dentist. That dentist did not have or did not accept dental insurance. He didn't need it because the next dentist closest to him was at least 32 miles away or, further than that. So, you know what? He liked cash. He gave discounts for that, but we didn't have dental insurance. Now, I guarantee you he didn't belong to any networks, and if you have a plan that paid good benefits if you belong to a certain network, you're not going to have that. This gives you freedom of choice to go wherever you want to. So that works out well. Now, issue ages 0 to 90, like our HospitalWise product. Coverage for individuals and families. Guaranteed issue. There's no health questions. You got 3 benefits, 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000. Low, medium, high, good, better, best. So you can pick up on that. You got a $100 deductible per year. That's not applicable to the dental or vision or hearing exams. That's covered, 100%. And you get to choose any provider, like I said. So the preventive, that's the basic cleanings, checkups once every 6 months. Basic is going to be the fillings. If you get in there and they find something, they're going to deal with it. Major is going to be the bridges and the crowns. Dentures, that can't be every year. That's like 1 set every 3 years to 5 years. It'll vary from state to state, but we can read that in the policy language. Now, you can take a look at the waiting periods and then the coverage amount. This product was really built for the consumer and the agent to both benefit from. So if you look at basic, The coverage amount for the preventive is 100% in all years. The basic type 2, year 1 is 60%. A lot of my competition's at 50. We're at 60. Year 2, it goes to 70. Year 3, it goes to 80. And the same thing on the major. So what's nice about this is the client, the longer they have it, the larger the benefit they're going to get paid out. You, as an agent, the client doesn't want to leave and start their waiting periods over again. They're getting an increased benefit. You're keeping the policy on the books, so you're getting renewal commissions. So you help build that stable block of business. Also, there's something that we've been studying right now that we're starting to find that persistency on products being sold, credit card versus bank draft. When we use bank draft, we look at persistency being about 15 points higher than credit card. So as an agent, I want to keep these cases on the books. So, with SureBridge, you have the choice, credit card or bank draft, but we know that bank draft performs about 15 points better than credit card. Because credit cards, they have expiration dates, they get compromised, hacked, whatever. And my wife and I, we just went through that here in December with one of our credit cards where we have automatic payments, and it got hacked. And you know what? It's taken us a couple months to get it cleaned up. And then also realizing what we had on automatic pay. And then, oh, geez, my wife's critical illness plan lapsed. We got that back and forth. But it's kind of a hassle. Whereas the bank draft, you know what? I have a bank draft coming out for insurance that I'm still paying on my kids, and they've all moved out. But I started years ago in the business. That $26.10 is still coming out for my kids, and that's been 40 years. So, roughly, almost 40 years, 38 years. So you continue to pay that, and nothing's ever changed on the bank draft. But the credit card, just as a little something to think about when you're selling. Now, hearing benefits, you got the exam. Where the big savings is the discount on purchasing hardware. That's where the hearing comes in. That's a big savings. Vision benefits, great vision benefits, except there's only one drawback, and I'm going to be upfront with you, is that you're going to have your vision exam covered at 100%. The frames and hardware, you have a waiting period of 9 months. That's the only drawback on this plan. So you can always sell a standalone vision, but with it being combined into one, once you get through that first 9 months, then you're fine. But if you're trying to get your clients to go and see their hearing, get that checked, and their vision checked, that might be the only thing that I would caution you about or you get questions on. Now, you can look at here this chart, 100% in all years, and you can see we talked about persistency and how things are paid out. It's designed to help you and the client. Now, how do you get that conversation started with your client when you're counseling them? I'm talking about dental insurance. Have you had your teeth cleaned? Saw an optometrist? Completed the hearing exam? When was the last time you had these done? For the individuals that are over 65, they're getting a lot of reminders in the mail and email about all these different things from Medicare and ARC and everywhere else. So we're kind of getting bombarded by it. Now, did you know that traditional Medicare does not cover your expenses for basic dental? But you know what? If you're in writing Medicare Advantage plans, a lot of those plans have some dental coverage. Some have some vision, hearing exams. Some of it's built into that Medicare Advantage plan. Not all plans have it, so you want to take a look and evaluate. And then, as a new agent with SureBridge, and you've never written before with us, if you do 2 applications, your first 2 applications, we'll go ahead and send out $50 bonus. So you know what? You might want to look at an application on yourself and then take a look at your current book of business that you just got done writing all the Medicare Advantage plans on. And think about your clients and who can you educate or talk to them about HospitalWise. Start to do some quotes. And yes, AEP and OEP is over, but now it's February. Have I followed up with the people that I just enrolled? You know what? Do they have any questions? Are they getting their ID card? And here's an opportunity for you to introduce HospitalWise to them, to bring it to their attention. And you have the other products too, the dental or critical illness. But after 2 apps, you get a $50 bonus. That'll be a nice bonus to have to help offset some of the expenses that you have as an agent, whether it be gas or software, updates, things like that. Cell phone, you've got it. Now, you can work through Messer. Messer's got a great support team there. And for product and contract information, you can call them. You can speak to their marketing director. You can speak to Micah and Jeff and that whole gang there. Chris, they'll gladly help you. But also, if you have questions, you can always give me a call. That's my cell phone. Or you can email me there at jesse.brewer@SureBridgeInsurance.com, or you can jesse.brewer@uhc.com. We got a lot of different emails going on right now, but you can gladly do that. Now, I want to see if I can get to some place where I can get, there's my contact information. I'll give it up for just a few more seconds. So if you want to write that down, you can do that. But I always recommend going to Messer's support team first, because they've got more people than just me that can answer questions. They do a good job. So if I can end this, let's see where to go. Now, if I can bring up, see here, right here. There it is. Okay. Once you get appointed, you'll get a producer number. And here is the portal that you go into to do business. And you go into subsportal.com and you have your producer number and you'll sign in, and it'll do the authentication that you are who you are based upon your producer number and your password. So you've got the home page, it's got the underwriting guide, how to get started. You can click on all that. Here's the phone number for member services or producer support. Now, if you're going to go to sell, you're going to go to quote and apply, and that's going to bring up the quoting tool. Now, the tools page, you go there, you've got all this information available to you on the right-hand column, product availability, things like that. But you can go right here to select the state, and let's say that we select North Carolina, and it'll bring up all the products that's available for sale in North Carolina. And then if you click on it, go here, and it's going to bring up the brochure, both in English and Spanish. So if you're working in the Hispanic market, you've got materials that will be able to be used. Advantage. So that's where you get your brochures. We're not in the printing business. You can print those off or email them to your client, but you will have the brochures. The reports, you can go there. You look at your book of business report, any policy information on the cases that you've sold. You can look at that, claim status, and policy information. So book of business, and then you have a take action report. So if you have a client whose bank draft did not go through or their credit card expired, we'll tell you so you can follow up with your client. You've got that information. Training, we have all sorts of training out there that you can do, and whether it be how to cite apps, anything like that, you've got it. We got the SureBridge University. And then my account is a very important one, is that you can check on your appointments in your state and anything like that, copy of your contracts, stuff like that. You've got that ability. So let's say that you're licensed in North Carolina And you can go here and you can request additional states to get appointed in, and we'll go ahead and pull the reports from NIPR and update the point of sales tool. So if we go back to the home page, if it gets us back there. Oops, okay. Agent info. You can get them, what states you're appointed in, which ones you're not. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. Oops. Okay. So that will get you there. That's the point of sales tool. So, Micah, we're right at the end of our time. We got started a little late, but I have another one to go to, but I didn't want to cut anybody short. But if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. And if anybody wants to call and do a one-on-one, I'll gladly do that. Or if they want to schedule, we can redo that too. So, all right. Any other questions?
Just one question. If you have any of these marketing materials in Spanish?
Yeah, all the, like I showed you on that tools page, all the brochures are in Spanish.
Perfect. And I did put my email address in there for you. Micah also has it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, we can get that to you. And now, if you're appointed with us, you have a producer number that starts with C. It'll be like C10,000, C100002959. That's me. So that's what you got to look forward if you're appointed. Remember your producer number. All right. Any other questions, Micah?
No questions. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you coming and providing this information.
All right. Sorry for the computer issues, but I'll get this PowerPoint out and we'll go from there. And don't forget, 2 apps get you $50. So it's a good way to start.
Perfect.
All right. Take care.
You too. Have a great weekend, everybody. Gracias a todos. This training will be available on the website, Insurance Pro website next week. If you have any questions or if you want to look over it. Remember that los trainings van a ser los miércoles, empezando este miércoles. Trainings are going to be on Wednesday, starting on this Wednesday. This Wednesday, we're going to do Medicaid applications. And I'm going to try and get CenterWell to come back and do a presentation as well. I will be sending out the link today or Monday for Wednesday. So look out for that. El miércoles tenemos training a las 10:30. Empezando en marzo, los trainings son los miércoles a las 10:30. Voy a mandar el link hoy o el lunes para el training. Va a ser de Medicaid y Fusta. Gracias a todos. Tengan un buen fin de semana. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.